Ellison hops up on the stage next to him and immediately goes, "You know what? I think your opinion of these people is way too high." And he's like, "Let me tell you, out of all of you people in this room, I doubt any of you will ever become writers. Because you don't have the brains for it, and you don't have the discipline, and blah. I mean, he just immediately went on. He's like a firecracker exploding. I mean, it was just he got up there and just."
Slug you in the face.
Slap you around, get out of here, kid, you ain't got a chance. In a sense, he was doing to us what had been done to him as a child.
Yeah.
He was like, if you can't take it, you're not going to make it, kind of a thing. And I'm up here to put the screws to you, and see if you can take it.
Two totally separate approaches.
Oh, yeah. He was like, scare the hell out of people, convince them that, they'll never be able to do anything worthwhile.
And after one of these lectures that you'd gone to, you actually ran into him?
Which one?
Bradbury.
Well, actually, on different occasions, both
on
of
different
them.
occasions. but
Bradbury, it wasn't that long after that. I think I was out in the Westwood or the Santa Monica area.
It seems to me one time, a long time ago, we had talked and he said, "Oh yeah," and I saw him. His wife was picking him up.
Yeah,
and you had a few words.
And it was so cool. Yeah.
Because he doesn't drive, so his wife.
He doesn't drive. His wife was picking him up, and he was dressed in his white tennis outfit. Right. Short sleeve polo shirt, white shorts, tennis shoes, and I think he had his racket with him and everything. I mean, there he was wearing his black horn-rimmed glasses, just like I wear, and it was just nice to. I mean, he was just a regular guy. It was just kind of like, "Oh, hi, yeah. Oh, you're Ray Bradbury. Yeah, I saw you speak at Mount San Antonio College. Oh, yes, yeah." And then it was like, "Well, I got to be going now. My wife's picking me up." I think he was actually coming out of a bookstore that I was going into, and I wish I could remember the name of the bookstore. But he was a big supporter of bookstores, and particularly like used bookstores. There's a bookstore in Long Beach. I think it was called Acre of Books or something like that.
I remember that. Yeah.
And he tried to save that bookstore. I mean, he would go down there and he would talk about it, and he would get articles printed about it. He was, when
that place is huge.
It was huge, but with the tendency in our society, fewer people reading, more people buying online, it was struggling, and he tried to save it. That's the kind of guy he was. He was pro bookstores. He was pro libraries. I've even read quotes from him where he said, growing up, he would go to the library like 3 days a week, and that was his education. Whereas other people might go to college, he just went to the library and read a lot, and of course he wrote every day, and he was basically self-educated. Once he graduated from high school, he was self-educated. And it was libraries. I just recently read something where he said, colleges and universities, I don't believe in them. I believe in libraries. It would be better for you to go and spend your time in a library than to go to college.
Some of his heroes were librarians in stories.
Were they?
Well, yeah, like
Fahrenheit 451.
Yeah,
there was a whole underground of librarian type people.
Exactly, and Something Wicked This Way Comes.
That's right.
The main hero, the adult hero, is a librarian. And if I recall right, when Ray Bradbury was poor, he would go to the library and rent the typewriters there, and I guess they were in the basement, and you had like pay.
Yeah, it was something like $1 a half hour or something like that.
Yeah, and so I guess you put your money in and you type like hell to get it going.
And some of his most famous books he wrote in libraries, paying by the half hour to use the typewriter.
Interesting.
Yep. Yeah. And again, that way he didn't have to own a typewriter. It wasn't like he had to go out and spend money on it. I heard when he was first started writing, early teens or whatever, it was actually, he grew up in the Depression era, so he wrote on like butcher paper and stuff like that.
Wow.
But he wrote every day. And actually, originally, he was interested in acting. He took acting classes and stuff in high school. He was in the drama department and stuff like that. Drama department, they didn't have a department, but the drama, whatever it was, club, class, whatever. I guess he was thinking, well, I'm going to do something creative, acting, drawing, writing, something. Because he also drew. He used to draw comic strips and stuff.
Oh, I had no
He
idea.
would try drawing his own Sunday pages and things. He was a huge fan of Edgar Rice Burroughs.
Oh yeah.
So Tarzan, and particularly John Carter of Mars, which they recently put out a movie of that, which didn't do too well, but it was due to poor marketing, from what I understand. It was supposed to, from what I've heard from people who I respect, like the writer Peter David, in his column But I Digress, he said that he went to see it and he was like in tears because it brought out the child in him who had originally read that story, when he was a kid. And so that was an influence on Bradbury, and then Bradbury was an influence on other writers, and so it's all kind of connected and gets passed around. And Bradbury was huge. He was just huge. He's going to be really missed.
I get a sense of that. I've been following some posts and some articles about his passing, and he is missed by a lot of people.
I would be surprised if it was otherwise, because he's touched so many people's lives, people who don't even know that he's touched their lives.
That's true.
He's had that kind of influence on the world. And it's a positive influence, which I feel is good. So he's gone. He's gone. We're losing a lot of the greats.
We lost another great one.
Yep.
Well, on that note, I think we'll just say, Ray, thank you very much.
Thank you for all the stories, and
we'll miss you.
we still have them to read.
We
So
still have them.
with us.
Cool. Thank you very much, Glenn. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you.